It's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to give for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as we go along if you are enjoying the content. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this beautiful book, Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Real Life Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. Welcome to tonight's episode, which is day 6 of Asexual Perspectives Awareness Month, hashtag APAM. I'm not sure if I actually wrote day 6 in the title. I think I might have put a different day, but I will amend that after the video is finished. So this is in fact day 6, because we're on July the 6th, 2019 as I'm recording this. I had to just double check on my calendar. So yeah, it's been a really hectic day because I'm on a podcast, being interviewed on a podcast, and it's being aired this Tuesday on iTunes. So yeah, that's to look forward to. So we've been really busy promoting that today. So yeah, let's get on with Asexual Perspectives Awareness Month, day 6. So if you didn't know what Asexual Perspectives Awareness Month is, it's a month I founded especially in celebration of the main point of this book, which is to celebrate our diversity across the asexual spectrum and our differences within it, which is the reason I wrote this book. So this book, Asexual Perspectives, gives you great insight into the asexual spectrum, into the different types of asexuals that exist. Not all of them, because not all of them can fit into a book, but it gives you a very different variety of them. And so you're able to see what the asexual spectrum's like, you know, rather than being just given textbook definitions of it. And that's what makes this book so great. And each person who talks in the book has their own chapter as well. So it makes it really easy to read if you have difficulties reading long books, because it is a really big book. Now, tonight's topic, you may have noticed I've got bookmarks in there, made of little pieces of paper. So tonight's topic is, what is the difference between sexual arousal and sexual attraction? So asexuality, if you didn't know, is the lack of sexual attraction and or little to no interest in sexual activities. It's mostly known for being a lack of sexual attraction. So you're not sexually attracted to anyone, but you could be romantically attracted to someone, not, or asexually attracted or turgently attracted. You could be a lot of other attractions, just not sexually, if you are asexual. So people often confuse sexual arousal with sexual attraction. I did for years. I honestly thought I was a heterosexual, just didn't really like sex that much, and always loved kissing more than sex, and didn't associate sex with love at all. You know, so that's where I was coming from. But because I didn't realize at the time that I experienced high levels of arousal, I mistook that for sexual attraction. Now, since my asexuality journey started in 2014, I found out I was asexual around March, April time 2014. And since that asexual journey has begun, I've found out a lot about myself, including that I can be highly aroused, but it's not linked to any feeling of a need, urge, or want to actually have sex with someone. And I can get aroused by myself just by thinking of the word aroused, just by thinking about kissing, even though I'm thinking about kissing, just kissing in and of itself, not, doesn't have to be anyone involved. Obviously, if this guy I really like and we're talking about kissing together, then obviously that can make me arouse the idea of kissing, but I don't want to have sex with that person. It's purely just because, you know, the arousal from the kissing feels good, if you know what I mean. Not the, and because I like the kissing, but I don't need the sex. I'm not interested in the sex. So anyway, it's really interesting to see whether other asexuals believe sexual arousal and sexual attraction are different things or the same, and if they understand the difference. Because for years I really didn't. I always, thought they were the same thing. I couldn't separate the two. I didn't even know they were separate. I thought they all went together because I was in heterosexual relationships for half of my life, and I knew no better, as it were, back then. All I knew is that I was a bit different, that I didn't like nudity, and I didn't really like sex either. So anyway, let me have a sip of my water from my cute Professor Bubbleworks mug. That's from a theme park in the UK. Chessington World of Adventures, actually. I digress. Anyway, let's find out what Victoria has to say. Oh, well, I would, but it slipped. Victoria's story. Oh, where have I? So I was asking asexuals the difference between arousal and sexual attraction. I seem to have misplaced her. There we go. Victoria's story. Right. Do you think sexual arousal and sexual attraction are the same thing or different? Please explain. This is Victoria's answer. Arousal is a physical phenomenon. People with a can't even speak tonight. Arousal is a physical phenomenon. I can't even say that word. You know what I mean. People with a libido experience, regardless of sexual orientation, attraction is the desire to have sex with a certain person. Yes. Sexual attraction and sexual desire. There you go. I think that's a very, very good way of putting it, actually. So who else can we look for in this Asexual Perspectives book? Right, this is, I can never pronounce this name, Geeks van der Poel's story. So do you think sexual attraction and sexual arousal are the same thing? For most people, they are the same. I think sexual attraction can lead to sexual arousal. However, for many asexuals, they are different. One can be sexually aroused without having feelings of sexual attraction. For instance, one can just masturbate because it feels good, without having any sexual fantasies involved about sexually attractive people. And I think this is a really important point, because a lot of people believe that you have to picture sexual acts and sexual things when you masturbate to actually, you know, have the desired effect of releasing the arousal. But it simply isn't true. You know, I can just literally focus on my feeling. I can literally just think I'm aroused, focus on the feeling of arousal, and if I want to masturbate, I can just do it to that. I don't need anyone involved. I don't watch porn and never have done. Don't like that. It's a really horrible idea to me. You know, I don't like any of that type of stuff, you know. So it requires no, you know, I can get aroused with no physical touching whatsoever, and then, you know, I can get it without any input at all, you know, apart from myself, you know, and my own thoughts and feelings. You know, if I want to feel aroused, all I have to do is think I'm aroused. But I can get aroused without even thinking about it, just naturally, like through the idea of kissing, basically, or just because I feel like it, really. Okay. So Adair's story. Do you think sexual arousal and sexual attraction are the same thing or different, Adair? I think a person can be aroused without being sexually attracted to another person. Arousal is a physical response to stimuli to prepare for copulation. It can happen whether or not you want the person you're about to engage with. And I think, you know, it can be seen in, you know, certain people that, you know, it's a response. They say it's a physical response. So you see, and for me, you'll have to excuse the alarm going off outside. I've got my window open. I didn't expect a car alarm to go off. I might have to just shut my window because you're not going to be able to hear me else, are you? Sorry. Really noisy. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, I've got my look at this. This is my nighttime top with a sheep on it tonight. So yeah, I think it's stopped now anyway. But yeah, so I think this is a really important point that Adair brings up. because they say arousal is a physical response to stimuli to prepare for copulation, right? Which is to prepare for, you know, basically having sex to have kids, you know, that type of thing. It can happen whether or not you want the person you're about to engage with. And I do know that, like, you know, there's people who have sexual desire. They desire the sex itself, but they're not really bothered about who they have it with. This is why you can sometimes hear of males having sex with other males, because they just want sex, even though they're not attracted to males in a gay way. I find that really difficult concept to grasp myself, because I personally couldn't have sex with a woman because I'm not attracted to her at all. I mean, I'm not sexually attracted anyway, but if I was, for me, I know if I was sexually attracted, which I'm not, but if I was, I couldn't have sex with someone I wasn't sexually attracted to. Do you know what I mean? I would feel like weird because I can't kiss someone I'm not aesthetically attracted to. That's how it works for me. So, but I was saying about arousal, for me, it's not just physical. I can get aroused just from my mind without even touching myself or doing anything. Do you know what I mean? And I think that is quite a big difference between me and some of the people who are asexual in this book, is that the majority of asexuals in this book, they seem to think that you know, the arousal is a physical response. I mean, it is a physical response in the sense it happens chemically and it's down below that it's doing it, isn't it? But the other thing is they tend to think that it's a response to physical stimuli, which for me it isn't. It's a mind thing. Do you know what I mean? And then if I wanted to touch myself or have someone touch me, then it'd be physical as well, in that sense. But yes, it's physical in the sense of it's arousal, isn't it? Chemicals going off. But it's interesting, a lot of people think you need to actually touch yourself to be aroused. But you know, some people get aroused through imagery, don't they? But I can get aroused through no imagery. I don't watch porn. It's not my thing. Right, okay, so this is Callie's story. Where is Callie's story? There's quite a lot of stuff in this book, as you know. If you're wondering what book I'm reading from this Asexual Perspectives book, which I published a couple of years ago. Basically shows you asexuals all across the spectrum and gives you their different viewpoints on love, life, sex, masturbation, BDSM, sexual attraction, sexual desire, sexual arousal, and everything else in between, really. So at the moment, I've got the question of what's the difference between sexual arousal and sexual attraction. I'm just trying to find Callie's story. I thought I had it bookmarked. There we go. Yeah. Do you think sexual arousal and sexual attraction are the same or different? This is Callie's story. Definitely different. Similar to the difference between sexual attraction and sexual desire, you can feel sexual arousal without needing to feel sexual attraction. Many, if not most, asexuals can feel sexual arousal, aka libido, but still not have sexual attraction, or at least that's my understanding. Arousal is a physical thing, whereas sexual attraction I've always seen as more of a mental thing, although with a physical element probably. You see, this is where it differs for me, because I see personally, just with myself, I see it as arousal is more of a mental thing first, and then it's physical. Do you see what I mean? Like, if I'm thinking about kissing, like, that makes me, you know what I mean? So that makes me aroused. So I think it's very, very interesting, because a majority of asexuals, I do think that person is right in the sense that, you know, a lot of asexuals, not, you know, there's a number of asexuals that don't have any arousal feelings whatsoever, but there's quite a few who do. And when you first discover asexuality, it can be a minefield, and you can think, oh, because I've aroused, am I really asexual? But I don't feel, you know, I don't feel I want to have sex with anyone. Well, if you don't get the need, urge, or want for partner sexual intercourse with anyone, whether you're aroused or not, you're still asexual. You know, asexuality is the lack of sexual attraction. So if you're looking at someone, anyone in particular or anyone not in particular, at any time, you know, throughout the years of your life, and you're thinking, oh, I'd like to have sex with that person, what would it be like to have sex with that person? You know, I really would like to try, you know, because I feel an attraction for them to want to do that. then that means you're not asexual. If you are if you want to have sex with someone and you think about it and you want to go through with the act and everything, asexuality is a huge spectrum. So there are some asexuals on the spectrum that do feel sexual attraction in limited, rare or specific circumstances, or not enough to want to act on it. But that's not fully asexual, but it's on the asexual spectrum. Someone who's fully asexual is someone who doesn't experience any sexual attraction whatsoever. They're just not interested. They don't feel the need, urge, or want to have that partnered sexual intercourse at all. So I think it's very, very interesting. Shall I see if I can find some other stories? Let's see if I can get one more. Here we go. This is Ari's story. Do you think sexual arousal and sexual attraction are the same or different? Sexual arousal, I think of more as having a sex drive, and sexual attraction as wanting to have sex with a given person. I think of the former as more of a hormonal thing that happens at random moments for no particular reason, and feel it in a way that's completely detached from the latter. So they feel personally that sexual arousal, I think of more as having a sex drive, and the sexual attraction is wanting to have sex. And for not me personally, but for Ari, they think of the sexual arousal as a hormonal thing. It can happen at random moments, and it feels detached from the sexual attraction. So I think this is really important. This is a major difference for the asexuals, is if you do feel aroused, it's not really aimed at anyone. And if it is involving anyone, it's more through what they're doing to you physically than actually wanting to have sex with them. So, for example, if a guy is touching me in certain places, it's going to make me aroused. But I can also get aroused on my own without needing any physical input as well, So arousal and sexual attraction are very huge topics. But in the asexual community, we separate them a lot. In the wider heterosexual world, if you like, they're seen as hand in hand. Arousal is part of sexual attraction. That's how it's seen. I think that's why so many people get confused. Is because, they can be aroused, and then all of a sudden when it comes to the sexual act, for some people, they just can't go through with it. They just don't want it. They don't like it. They don't need it. It's not what they expect it to be. And they're just like, I don't want this. It's not suitable or comfortable for me in my life. I'm not interested. And that's because they might have experienced arousal initially, but when it actually came to the act of having sex, it didn't interest them. It didn't make them feel good. It didn't make them want to have sex, and that's a huge difference. So if you are asexual and you're concerned about things, don't be. If you do get aroused, but it's not aimed at anyone, and you don't want to have sex with anyone, and you don't look at anyone and think you want to have sex with them, then that's perfectly normal for an asexual. There are some asexuals though who have no arousal whatsoever, especially some aromantic asexuals I've come across. So those who lack romantic attraction, sexual attraction, they seem to have, some of them seem to have no desire whatsoever to masturbate, and have no feelings of arousal, So we're all different on the asexual spectrum. That's what this book's about. It's all about celebrating our differences across the asexual spectrum and within it too. So yeah, it's really great book. If you haven't already got a copy, please click the links down below. And until next time, embrace your quirky and each other. Thank you for stopping by another Asexual Perspectives Awareness Month video. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe now. Hit that great big bell icon so get notified every time I go live like now, post a new video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're liking the content. Share it with a friend or whoever may benefit if they're a bit confused, especially about sexual attraction and arousal. I think it will give them some good insight. If you've got any comments, questions, queries, leave them below as always. And I look forward to seeing you on the next live stream or video. Bye bye.